Joe Pag Show. Great radio stations across the land. Newsmax TV, iHeartRadio, JoePags.com. It's a pleasure to have you along for the ride. We've got a lot going on today. We'll circle back to the Alicia Machado video from 1997, which to me shows that Donald Trump wasn't doing anything misogynistic. He was actually trying to help the woman. But having said that, I told you before the break we were going to have a sheriff on. A sheriff who's doing something progressive, something positive, something necessary, in my opinion. His name is Joy Koon. He's the sheriff of Lexington County, South Carolina. Sheriff, how are you?
Good, Joe.
Hey, I appreciate having you on. We've got a bunch of people listening, and I think what you're doing with the media is going to go a long way to get better understanding of what you guys face every single day when you put the uniform on. If you can, give me a quick overview of exactly what it is you're doing, then we can get into why you're doing it.
Yeah, we decided during, it's a very challenging time in our profession, the law enforcement profession. So what can we control to change that?
Right.
We can control what we can do in our communities. And I think we got to do a better job of educating our citizens of why we do the things we do and what we do. So we invited the media in, our local media here in Lexington County, and put them through some of the scenario-based training that our deputies go through.
Now, I watched the video, and it's pretty intense. Now, I was a journalist on television for many, many years, and I would always try to understand the perspective of all sides. In this day and age, Sheriff, we're getting the media that is actively saying things like, why didn't they tase him? Why didn't they make sure that he had a loaded gun? Why didn't they wait a few seconds before they did anything like that? What is the reaction that you're getting from the members of the media, the journalists that are actually going through, and not really, because they know that they're not going to really be shot, but they're actually going through some of the steps that law enforcement goes through every day? What are you hearing from them as you put them through this?
Well, you saw in our piece, they were very eye-opening. We decided to show them what we do every day, and then also it showed them how quick things can unfold and the quick decisions you have to make. So they came through. We spent about 2.5 hours with them and put them through a variety of scenarios. You just saw a small portion on our in-house Facebook clip, but some were deadly force had to be used, and some where you could just use your verbal skills and get out of it. So we tried to show them a good sampling of the different type of things we deal with, and it was very neat to see their reaction. I appreciate them giving a honest and real answer of their experiences.
It's Lexington County Sheriff Joy Koon, and we appreciate you out of South Carolina. One of the first pieces of video I saw, and again, you've got all sorts of video that I'm not going to see, but in the piece that I saw from the news report, in the first one, that reporter's dead. That's it. She's walking up. Just a routine, what we call routine. The lay people call it routine, Sheriff. I don't think you'd ever call anything routine. But a routine, pull somebody over for speeding or some sort of a violation while driving, and she wasn't to the back of the car, basically just to the back of the truck, and she got shot. And then she shoots back, and you're ordering her and telling her how to react. But, I mean, that's a situation that's real. I mean, there is no guarantee that you're going to walk up to the side of the car, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Here's why I pulled you over. Give me your license registration. That was a real-life sort of thing, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. All the scenarios were based on something either that had happened, our officers had dealt with directly, or something on a national level had happened, and it was very real-life scenarios.
And people are watching these TV stations, and they're watching these journalists who are reporting, I believe, in a biased way before going through your program, and now they have a different side completely. Were you surprised that they took your invitation?
Well, I was interested to see what they said, and they all gladly accepted. And one note, our Facebook video was done in-house. So
Okay.
We had a staff that could, they all went back to their stations and reported what they did, and we did it in-house so we could control, tell it from our end, they told it from their end. So it was neat, they matched. I was curious to see once they got back to their producers and all if it would match. But it did match, so it was an honest, real analysis of what happened. So, I think with social media, law enforcement has to drive their own narrative. I think we're up to close to 34,000 Facebook followers, so it's important to be able to constantly put out what we're doing.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind, I'll put your Facebook on my Facebook. I've got a couple of more followers than you do, so what I'll do is I'll see if we can add some numbers there. I want everybody to go and see this video. I want everybody to understand what law enforcement faces every single day. And as we're watching a helicopter shot or a dash cam shot or a body cam shot, and we're sitting back here, Monday morning quarterbacking, saying, well, here's what I think should have happened, and here's what I think you shouldn't have happened. We'll never really know unless we suit up and put on that uniform. And that's exactly exactly why you decided to do this. Having said that, is there an idea? I think this would be interesting too. Now, I'm just a dumb guy on the radio on the TV, so maybe I don't know. But Sheriff, maybe go to community leaders in certain communities that feel as though there's some antagonistic relationship going on with police. Maybe invite them to come and do the same thing. Is that an idea?
Sure, it's been done across the country. We actually have a Citizens Academy that we're doing twice a year where citizens come in and learn about our department for about 8 weeks, and they are part of that. They do it. So it's trying to spread the word and get the word out of why we do it and what we do it. And one interesting note, too, is I told them the other day when they did it, is every call law enforcement goes on involves a gun because we bring it. So
right.
if we get incapacitated and they take our gun, it could be deadly. So every call we go on, there's a gun involved.
Lexington County, South Carolina Sheriff Joy Koon. Sheriff, I appreciate you taking the time. I appreciate what you're doing. I also appreciate those members of the media that are reporting it correctly. I'm really, really glad that the two stories aligned. Let me ask you while I have you on the line, what would you say to a young person, let's say a young black guy, who's 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, who is growing up in a neighborhood where his peers and maybe even his parents and his family are saying the cops hate you, the cops don't like you, and be careful, they're looking to kill you. Now, what can you say to that person to make him understand that that's just simply not the case? Can we turn it around?
I think we can. I've charged all my officers to get into our local schools from kindergarten on up and really spend some time. You know, we did that growing up a lot. Everybody remembers a police officer coming through a class.
Absolutely.
But I think we got to ramp that up and really should build that relationship before they get turned, so to speak. And, you know, I'm kind of with the Dallas Chief. Come join us and make a difference in your community.
Well, I mean, absolutely right. You've got protesters out there protesting what you do, have no idea what you do, protesting what you do, being protected by you as they protest, who still don't have a relationship. Wouldn't it be something if they stopped, you know, the racial division and said, yeah, you know what, Sheriff Koon, I'm going to come and join. I'm going to come and find out what you do. Aren't we all better off because of that?
Absolutely, and it's funny, the media, when we have a shooting, the first thing they do, they want to know the race of the officer and the race of the suspect. And I kind of joined my sheriff across the river here, and we decided just to say they're the same race, they're the human race. We're all together, and you know, our policies and our manual, it doesn't divide us by race. We treat everybody the same and deal with force we have to. So I think we're going to start saying we're the same race, we're the human race.
Well, I think it's an amazing idea because if we go back to the shooting of Trayvon Martin, all the media reported him as white Hispanic. George Zimmerman. Didn't make any sense. And in this shooting in North Carolina, all we're hearing is that a black man was shot. Nobody is saying that the officer was the same race or that the police chief is the same race because that changes the narrative. Saying human race, I think, would diffuse all of that, and I hope that it's successful.
But we're going to give it a shot. I appreciate your words, and we're trying to just build positive relationships.
All right, it is Sheriff Joy Koon from Lexington County, South Carolina. I can't thank you enough for the time, Sheriff. Great job on this, and I'm gonna pump it up on my Facebook and on my Twitter. Hopefully, we'll get more people following you.
That'd be great. You have a good evening.
Hi, boss. You too. Thank you. There you go. I appreciate that. I like the idea. Of course, Carrie, you walk away from that and you say to yourself, that's going to cause people to say he's a racist because he's saying human race. Didn't you have a story a couple of months ago where that's a microaggression if you say human race?
Yes, as a matter of fact. I think it was last month we were talking about that.
It's a microaggression
it's a bad word.
because you're de-racing people that you're talking about or something.
Yeah.
Very, very strange. All right. I want to circle back. And again, I love what the sheriff is doing there, and I think it's going to be very successful. And I would urge all law enforcement listening to reach out to journalists, to TV stations, radio stations, online magazines. I guess newspapers still exist. Do they still exist?
Yeah, they do.
They're
still around. Yeah.
Because that internet thing, maybe that's why they're giving away the internet.
Maybe
they're giving away the internet because newspapers are dying, and they're like, "We got to get rid of this internet. Give it to China. We can get newspapers again." Maybe that's what's going on.
Not the case.
But I want to circle back to Alicia Machado and the fact that Donald Trump is not calling her a big fat pig. He's saying sometimes we're under stress. We eat, like me, like Alicia. He hires her a great personal trainer who says that she's going to be about 125 instead of 118 or 130 even when she competes again. But she'll be in great shape. She looks like she's 118. I didn't hear anything. But again, I'm a man, so I must hate all women or something. I didn't hear anything in there that would have made me say, hey, why are you talking about my daughter that way? Or why are you talking about my wife that way?
There didn't seem to be a problem there. I don't understand what her deal is.
And again, I did a television interview earlier with J.D. Hayworth, and I made this statement, and I thought, I got to tell you, it's very rare, but I actually thought I nailed it. Does the Clinton campaign not know how to use the internet?
I think yes. I'm going to say yes, they do.
Before you truck Alicia Machado out, maybe you look her up.
Machado. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
That would be the first thing I would do. Yeah. Machado, right.
I'm just saying. You do a Google search and you find out she had relations live on television or something. And then you find out there's this incredible criminal case. You find out that she was connected to a drug cartel leader or something. Did I? I mean,
yeah,
I'm not special. I just pressed Google.com, and then there it was.
It's probably all there.
So now maybe I understand the whole email scandal because they just don't understand the internet. There's a problem.
That is the case.
A problem in comprehension,
They don't bother
I think.
with it.
All right. 1-800-383-9624. We've got a few things going on. Giving away the internet. Alicia Machado, if you say so.
Yes.
And her background and the Clinton campaign, I was going to say administration, doesn't know her background before trucking her out like a poor victim. And also, what about the sheriff saying, hey, come on, media, come on in here, learn what we do? I think it all kind of makes sense. I'm very interested in hearing what women think about what I played, that audio I played from Trump from 20 years ago. I mean, did I miss something? 1-800-383-9624. Stay right here.